Hi, I'm Mick. Welcome back to Poland Awaits, your roadmap to employment. In Chapter 3, we'll talk about one of the most important things to understand before starting work in Poland, employment contracts. We'll explain the types of contracts used in Poland, what they include, and how they affect your job security, benefits, and legal rights. Before we dive into today's topic, let me quickly share two top services, one from our team and one from our trusted partner, that many of our viewers find extremely helpful. First, if you're planning to come to Poland but aren't sure what documents you need, or if you're already here and want to stay longer legally, Time to Legal is here to help. We assist with national visas, temporary residence cards, work permits, and offer personalized consultations to help you live and work in Poland legally. You'll find the link to our website in the description below. Second, if you're looking for a job in Poland, our reliable recruitment partner will help you find a suitable offer. You don't pay for the job offer. They also support you with all the documents needed for legal employment, saving you time, energy, and stress. Most jobs come with free accommodation and many include free meals. So you start saving from day one. And here's the good news. There are also job offers available for candidates with no prior experience and even without knowing the Polish language. So if you're just getting started, don't worry, there's a place for you too. Found a vacancy that fits you, send your CV, not sure which offer is best, submit a short application and they'll help you choose. The link to their job offers is also in the video description. And now, let's move on to today's main topic, rights. Before you begin working in Poland, it's essential to understand the legal framework that governs employment, and this starts with employment contracts. In Poland, every job relationship must be confirmed by a written contract. This contract should clearly state your position, salary, working hours, and any additional benefits. It's important to make sure you receive and review the contract before you start working, and if you're not fluent in Polish, ask for a copy in English. The most common and legally secure contract in Poland is called umowa o pracę, an employment contract regulated by the Polish Labor Code. It offers full legal protection, including set working hours, paid vacation, sick leave, and defined notice periods in case of termination. There are three main types of employment contracts under this category. The first is the contract for an indefinite period. This is the most secure form of employment in Poland and is often used when both the employer and employee plan for a long-term working relationship. The second is the fixed-term contract. It is limited in duration and typically used for temporary or seasonal work. According to the law, you can work under such a contract for no longer than 33 months, and after the third contract, the next one must automatically become a contract for an indefinite period. The third type is the probationary contract, which is usually signed for a period of up to 3 months. It allows the employer to assess your suitability for the role before offering a longer-term agreement. When it comes to salary, as of January 1st, 2025, the minimum gross monthly wage in Poland is 4,666 zloty. Wages are typically paid once per month, and your contract or internal company regulations will state the exact date. According to the Labor Code, the payment must be made no later than the 10th day of the following month. A standard full-time work week in Poland includes 40 hours, usually spread over 5 working days. If your employer asks you to work more than that, the extra time is considered overtime and should be paid at a higher rate, 150% on regular work days and 200% on Sundays, public holidays, or during night shifts. Overtime is capped at 150 hours per year unless otherwise stated in your agreement. Employees in Poland are entitled to annual paid leave, which depends on your total length of employment. If you have less than 10 years of total work experience, including past jobs and periods of education, you receive 20 days of paid leave per year. If you have 10 years or more, the entitlement increases to 26 days. In addition to that, Poland observes 14 public holidays, and if one falls on a Saturday, employers are required to grant you an extra day off. Employees also receive paid sick leave. If you're under 50 years of age, your employer pays 80% of your salary for the first 33 days of illness each year. After that, the social insurance institution, known as ZUS, takes over. For employees aged 50 or above, the employer pays for only the first 14 days. There are also separate rules for maternity and paternity leave. Mothers are entitled to 20 weeks of maternity leave for the birth of one child, and even more if more than one child is born. Fathers are entitled to 14 days of paternity leave, which must be used within the first 12 months after the child's birth. When it comes to ending the employment, contracts can be terminated by mutual agreement, resignation, dismissal, or the end of a fixed-term contract. The notice period depends on how long you've been employed. It's 2 weeks if you've worked less than 6 months, 1 month for employment between 6 months and 3 years, and 3 months if you've been working for the same employer for over 3 years. These rules apply whether the termination is initiated by the employer or the employee. It's also possible for either party to terminate the contract without notice in special situations, such as serious misconduct or legal violations. In some cases, for example, during layoffs not related to your performance, you may be entitled to severance pay, especially if you've been employed for at least 2 years. Now let's look at another type of contract that is often used in Poland, the umowa zlecenie, or contract of mandate. This is a civil law contract regulated by the Civil Code, not the Labor Code. It's more flexible and is usually used for freelance or short-term work where you're not tied to a strict schedule. Under this type of contract, you agree to perform specific services for someone, and in return, you receive payment. However, this kind of contract doesn't offer many of the benefits that come with a traditional employment contract. The key difference is that you are not legally considered an employee. You're a contractor. That means you're not entitled to paid vacation, sick leave, or maternity benefits unless they're negotiated individually. Still, you are covered by Social Security. Your employer must pay contributions to ZUS, so you will be eligible for health insurance and pensions. The minimum hourly wage under this contract is also set by law. As of January 1st, 2025, it is 30.50 zloty per hour. Payments are usually made monthly, and both the method and schedule of payment should be specified in the contract. Employers are also required to keep accurate records of the hours you've worked. Another civil law contract is the umowa o dzieło, a contract for a specific task. This is used when a clearly defined outcome is expected. For example, designing a website, writing a report, or painting a mural. Once the task is completed, the contract ends. This type of agreement usually does not involve social insurance contributions and is generally used for short-term project-based work. In summary, umowa o pracę offers the strongest legal protection and stability. Civil law contracts such as umowa zlecenie and umowa o dzieło offer more flexibility but fewer benefits. Understanding the differences between these contracts is crucial before you accept a job offer in Poland. That's it for Chapter 3 of Poland Awaits. Now you understand the main types of contracts in Poland and how each one affects your rights and responsibilities. In the next chapter, we'll go over what documents are needed to work legally in Poland, including visas, work permits, and how to register your stay. See you in Chapter 4.